best of 3. It's been pretty intense so far, to be honest. It's tied up 1-1, spawning in the top left position as the blue Zerg player from Quantic Gaming. It is HyuN.
Yeah. So I think that HyuN has been playing a little bit sloppy, to be honest. I think that he could have won the first game, and he was about to mess up the second game too. So I feel like he's the better player if he's just focusing and trying to be on top of his play, like we can see sometimes. So
yeah, I have to agree with you there. There's been a lot of general sloppiness. I think HyuN's found a way to overextend in a lot of situations, and I would go so far as to say that on Star Station, HyuN had managed to get into a really nice position, securing his 4th, but overextended super hard trying to push into Ryung's base. We kind of mentioned this trickle of Zerglings. It doesn't really work that well for Zerg. You can trickle Marines. If you get that rally, that's fine. But with Lings, you can only do that if you, well, basically killed your opponent off. But a lot to see. Does look like Ryung wants to go for the command center first, and HyuN is going to choose to drone scout.
yeah, so drone scout coming up here, and that's actually something that we haven't seen HyuN do so far. Maybe it's because of the map, because this is a map where you can see T-Rex coming up quite often. But we are going to see a command center first, so I would guess that HyuN is actually going to go for 3 hatch before pull. There is no reason not to do it in this case. He knows that it's a command center first. We see actually a drone moving out here. No, he's moving back. He's taking a gas. What is HyuN doing? Maybe he's gonna go for actually a 2-base Baneling bust, which is kind of good versus command center first.
Yeah, I like it. One of the things to consider is that if Ryung does at some point choose to, when he moves that command center down, we've seen a pattern in all of his games where he does like the fast third command centers. HyuN can say, okay, well, after the first game it was a fast third, second game fast third. Maybe he's going to do the same style again, and I can just kill him with a really fast Roach attack or fast Baneling attack like you mentioned. So the other nice thing on this map is it's the natural is so wide open. It's very easy to get Lings around once you break open that front door, if Ryung even gets it up in time.
Yeah, but I so feel like HyuN is going to do some very early aggression here, because he scouted that early command center. He scouted that it was a command center first, and then he's taking an early gas. So I just feel like he must do something, or there is no reason to take that very early speed. He's saving 1 drone in gas, going for that speed. But let's see if he's going to move drones back in now when Ryung's SCV is moving out. But it doesn't look like it.
No, that's actually pretty interesting. It does seem like a good situation for aggression, and to echo your point, HyuN had a perfect opportunity to go for 3 hatch before pool, so I don't know why you opened speed when you could have opened 3 hatchery, and now the Ling will get this SCV. Ryung shouldn't be able to get really any more scouting information with that, so it should be either killed or maybe barely make it home, but still just 1 drone on the gas Madalisk.
Yeah, it's really strange to me that he's I mean, you're kind of wasting minerals when you're going for gas. And he didn't take the 3rd base as you pointed out. So maybe he just wants to trick Ryung to think that he's going for something aggressive so that Ryung cannot take that early 3rd command center. And Ryung actually isn't. He's going for more barracks here, so it looks like Ryung might be doing a 2-base push.
I like this a lot. I feel like I've seen this this style popping up more and more. The first time might have actually been from Flash and Pro League, really going for this heavily, versus Zergs that like to open up aggressively because it gives you a nice timing where the 2 bases with the mules, if a Zerg player does open up gas, like you said, wastes those potential minerals on the gas, on the tech, then you can find it's holding off these kinds of pushes can become very difficult, but you know what? This actually looks super similar to the previous openers of HyuN as far as the overall layout, the pneumaticized carapace, as well as the roach horn, and moving up to 3 gas geysers.
Yeah, we see the stim coming down here from Ryung, and he's making reactors on his barracks, so it's very likely that he's going to go for a push from this. It doesn't make sense to take a command center that late. And it's possible that the reason that he's going into this play is that he was scared of a 2 or 3 base Roachling Banelin or something like that from HyuN, since he knew that HyuN scouted that he was going command center first, and he knew that he took an early gas. 6 roaches coming out here from HyuN. I don't think that he's going to do much more than that. No Baneling Nest is coming down, and he's probably going to put down Evolution Chamber soon. We will have to see that in just a few seconds. No, the Baneling Nest is coming down, so he's going to go for the Roachling Baneling attack here. That's usually how you do it. You make all the roaches, and then you go back to build the Baneling Nest right after, and just start to produce lings and move across the map.
Yeah, this could work, actually. The only thing that's going to work out in Ryung's favor is if he scouts this and builds the bunkers. And look, the first bunker is on the way behind the main line. With all the production that Ryung has available to him, all these Marines that he can put out, it's very, very easy to fill those bunkers. And this is about as good a position as Ryung will ever be in to defend this type of attack.
Yeah, definitely. HyuN was probably thinking that Ryung was going to go into the 3rd command center again, and when a turn is not going for the 3rd command center, it's usually very easy to hold this off, just as you pointed out. So I think that it's going to be hard for HyuN to do a lot of damage here.
Well, he's got 10 Banelings on the way. 18 Banelings now.
18 Banelings.
Yeah, this
Wow.
is a huge attack, and this is a borderline all-in. If this does not kill something, Ryung is just going to be in a fantastic position to start dropping everywhere once again, like we've seen him do so far in this series.
Oh, he's canceling the bunker. He thought that there is no attack coming, and now and HyuN also has the Overlord speed, so he was trying to check for the Widow Mines, and here it comes. All the Banelings are moving in here. Can they connect with the Marines? That would be devastating for Ryung.
Yeah, he emptied the bunkers and he had his depot lowered. Oh my goodness, Ryung letting HyuN straight into his base. There's a lot of Marines here, but I don't know if you want to just let this many Banelings get on top of you. These supply depots will all die as well, so we're going to see Ryung he's going to become supply blocked into oblivion at this point. The Zerglings and the Roaches coming in, trying to do a little bit of poking. And these Marines are so clumped up at the ramp, he needs to be very cautious about these Banelings.
Wow, yeah, and HyuN is just gonna clean up those supply depots, then he's probably gonna go back home. He's making a lot of drones, he's making the lair and the evolution chamber, so he wants to go back into a macro game after this. And also, it's not like Ryung has very good upgrades going either. He has +1, so yeah, I think that this was as good as it could get for HyuN at this point, considering the openings.
Yeah, you know, Ryung, the supply block really helped in terms of delaying him from producing any units, but he does manage to start a step forward, and he snipes off all the Banelings. Very, very important to get those Baneling kills whenever you can.
Good point.
But I'm also interested to see when the drop play starts, because there's very limited anti-air. Even if we look at HyuN's main, there's no creep spread at all outside of that main hatchery, so we have the potential for just some drops to land and not really be scoutable. And as I say that, a super huge drop is headed towards the main. But Matalis, those lings, oh no, they're leaving.
Is he moving out? Oh my god. Go back, HyuN, go back. Look at the minimap. It's like HyuN has units or overlords everywhere. He knows where every drop is coming, except exactly where this drop moved in. So if he's not moving up to the main now, this is gonna be almost impossible for him to hold. A Widow Mine is moving in there to be able to take care of like all the lings that are flying in here.
Yeah, this is such a nice play. He's actually trying to focus down the lair. The lings and banelings moving in. He's just going to lift up. The Widow Mine gets a decent shot off. Nothing really serious.
It was so close that it would get like 20 lings, but
yeah.
Luckily for HyuN, that didn't happen. Also a drop in the 3rd base for HyuN, so it's like you said, the drop play is gonna come in here, and here we have the drop play, and it's really, really hard for HyuN to keep up, because he only has like hatchery tech units, and he has basically nothing versus air except of those queens.
Yeah, and that's just one of the inherent weaknesses of the Roach Ling Bane openers. Even if you don't, even if you don't fully commit, and then just GG out when your attack doesn't kill your opponent. You need to be so careful of what your opponent can do after that. The fact that the Terran player will have medevacs, and that's really what's kept Ryung in such an awesome position, is that drop was super nice. And as far as the overall workers killed, he's evened it out. He's got 13 drones killed compared to 16 SCVs. He's exactly where he wants to be, or exactly where he needs to be, considering the current situation of the game.
Yeah, looking at the income tab, HyuN is actually only at 54 drones, which is not a lot at all at this point. He's trying to take a 4th base now behind the rocks, but HyuN has the 3rd command center, and he's going to be lifting it out very, very soon, actually right now. So yeah, I think that even though HyuN is ahead in supply, I think that Ryung is setting himself up for a really good spot here in this game.
Yeah, I think getting the 2-2 faster is going to be absolutely monstrous. Terran players,
Yeah.
it's kind of a a historically known thing, at least in Heart of the Swarm, that the Terran will have better upgrades than the Zerg generally. So if you can press that advantage as much as you can, there's no reason not to. As the +2 Carapace starts at the same time as the +2 armor, he's got to do what he can to stay even.
Yeah, so it's like you say, it's really hard for Zerg to play. Like, if you are behind in upgrades as a Zerg player versus Terran, it's terribly hard to deal with the with the drops, especially. Like everything Marine Marauders with Medivacs, it's really hard to deal with. So Ryung is actually going to be a bit ahead in upgrades here. So yeah, looking good for him.
Yeah, I can't disagree there. That melee upgrade being late will mean that it'll be a lot easier to heal these units up. So, one Marine gets dropped to a terrible death. That's not very fun.
Poor Marine. What if he had a family?
Yeah, I mean, I think all the Marines are ex-convicts, so it's not like they've got much back home. But it's not fun. It's not a fun way to go.
But look at the supply here. HyuN is actually up to 170 supply versus 135. So maybe if he could hold on here and make like a 1-2 push or something. But he's making drones. He's making 8 drones at the moment, and more drones is coming in. So I'm not really sure what HyuN is up to. He's not taking more gas either. He's only at 4 gases at the moment on those 4 bases.
Yeah, this kind of seems to be HyuN's quirky style, and this push at the south side will be stopped as a drop hits the main base and the 4th. Trying to pick away at a few of these drones. He's actually target firing down the spawning pool in this situation. Very interesting. Then the Marines get away at the 4th base, but he's going to actually end up killing off this spawning pool.
Wow, and once again we see that Ryung is actually picking HyuN apart. A new spawning pool is coming up, but there's going to be like no more links for quite some time. HyuN is basically maxed though, so he could go for a push now, but it's really hard for him to push out when there are drops everywhere. There are units everywhere coming in for Ryung here. But it seems like HyuN is now morphing the Banelings. He's morphing 28 Banelings at the moment. He has the +2 Carapace, and the 2-2 is actually, oh my god! I don't know what to say.
A lot of units just died.
What is up with those Widowmine hits in this match?
Yeah,
wow.
Those Widowmines. And HyuN's picking them off as he makes his way over towards this 3rd. But there's the denial. And HyuN, he's actually looking so sharp right now. We had the huge counterattacks coming in.
But look at the drops. There are drops everywhere, and HyuN can't handle them. Yeah. All the drones died in the 4th base. There is nothing left there. The hatchery might even die. No, I think that the roaches will take care of it. But the natural base, how many drones did he lose this game? He actually lost 39, 41, 42 drones this game. Wow.
Yeah, this is...
Ryung is everywhere.
This is becoming borderline ridiculous. The amount of damage that Ryung can do and still be behind in supply as that 3rd base of his was attacked. But yeah, 20 killed versus 42. So nice for a Terran player. Here comes the big bust though. Is he gonna send a couple links for a debate? Maybe a roach or 2? This is,
it looks like he's just gonna deny this 3rd.
I like it. They just starve out Ryung. The muling Terran players, we see the main base, barely anything left. And then the natural is actually, there's actually some resources. They're running kind of low. But that's what HyuN wants to contain for us, to just starve out his opponent. Not engage up a ramp, not engage on Ryung's terms.
Yeah, as long as he's not overcommitting now, he can still do well in this game. But I think that he should try to get the infestation pit up and get the hive take up. And I'm really surprised that Ryung is actually not going for the 3-3, because if he gets up to the 3-3, he can still have a chance to win, even though he will be contained on 2 bases for a very long time.
Yeah, some really nice Baneling hits to apart most of those Marines. The Roaches are in the mineral line. At the same time, there's the Marine drop at the 3rd base. So much back and forth action here. I feel like the Roaches and Lings should be able to win the fight at Ryung's base. There's not too much he can do here. Retreating behind the Widowmines, and trust me, those Widowmines are actually worth their weight in gold right now. They've managed to hold this attack off somehow. I can't believe it. A drop, though, going to hit that 4th base. He still has, well, he's got 2 medevacs. They're empty now at that 3rd. and a medevac with 1 Marine outside of the main, but really nice attack from Ryung. It's an attack and a defense all at once, holding off the Roaches, holding off the Banelings, the Zerglings, and at the same time bringing an absurd amount of pressure.
Yeah, now he's moving in here, but I think that this is a mistake. He should move back with those units, but he's gonna try to drop this. HyuN, however, will see this. So... Or HyuN is moving out, HyuN is moving out. Okay, so maybe Ryung is gonna be able to kill some things off here in the main base, but it's not like he has any force fields, so all the units from HyuN is gonna move in, and yeah, he will clean that up.
Yeah, I like it. At the same time, those Zerglings not stopping with the counterattacks at the third base of Ryung, trying to deny the mining as much as possible. And this game has just been so back and forth between these guys. And there's that Doom Drop it's very easily replaced or moved to army, no worries. It's a full-sized army, shipping is free. But he actually picks off a lot of the Marines in this supply. I start to like HyuN's position more and more as this game goes on.
Definitely, HyuN is in a really good position, and it feels like HyuN is just giving up. He's just like, fuck this, I'm tired of those drops, and he's moving out. But just as he does that, there is a drop in the main base, and he has to move the army back once again. But I think that what is making this game going into more and more to HyuN is the fact that Ryung never got to mine fully from that third base. And he doesn't have the economy, he can't make more units.
No,
he has so much gas, but basically no minerals, so Ryung really needs to get that third base mining, and he can't. I'm surprised that he didn't try to take the other third base, to be honest, also.
Yeah, the inside base is so much easier to protect as well as having those rocks, so... I feel like Ryung's just tried to force too much. He hasn't had any luck at all with his engagements. He's gotten a couple of decent trades, but the resources lost tab actually strongly favors Ryung. The problem is he just can't accumulate those resources to turn it into him. He's lost less money, but his overall money mined much lower.
Yeah, so Ryung, I think that he's been doing a really good job trying everywhere, trying with the drops everywhere. He really tried to do the best he could to get back into this game, and I think that what he chose to do was really good. But I still can't believe that he got into that bad of a position in the first attack by HyuN, because he had himself set up so well, and then it feels like, yeah. I don't really know what happened there, to be honest, because he should have been able to just deal with that push from HyuN very, very easily.
Yeah, it's just a lot of interesting decisions left and right, but I feel like this game is snowballing in HyuN's favor. 177 supply to 101, and both players are on 2-2. Ryung is not getting that classic Terran advantage of 3-3, but here he goes. He's just going to press in before the Banelings can morph, and I just don't think he's got enough here. The Lings and Roaches get us around. He's going to continue to shove Ryung back onto his production, but there's a lot of Lings. The Banelings are now ready. He's still got a lot of Roaches
that third
as well.
Base. Wow, Ryung is like, I really want to mine here, please let me mine, and HyuN is just not letting him. So I think that it's good by HyuN not to move up that ramp, not to try to overcommit. He's trying to just keep Ryung on 2 bases, and he knows that he's going to be starved very, very soon. And there is the GG from Ryung. Really well played by HyuN.